Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Night of Misfortune bringing you round of 32 from the OSS 10-year anniversary tournament with a $1,500 prize pool. Absolutely insane. What's even more insane is that we already, in the round of 32, have an insane matchup between Europe's two titans. You can say Titan of the past versus Titan of the present. It is our number 3 seed in the top right-hand corner of Open Palms. We have Vanady from Clan AA and from Germany, although I believe he is Russian. He's opening up with a single air factory as our Aeon commander and already sending a scout over his opponent, who is the Titan of the past, the brown cyber commander Nuclear Pizza, opening up with a double land factory, already pushing out with his commander, and already we see a really interesting kind of adaptation to this opening from Nuclear Pizza. Normally we see from players like Iron Commander or maybe even myself or other cyber players, they might throw down a third land factory quickly or try to expand as fast as possible, but no, Nuclear Pizza is gonna use the meta of the old when counter pushing with an anti-air tower was very, very popular. It still kind of is, but I feel like I don't see it in the SCS that often. Meanwhile, the bots have already made their way to the mass extractor in the front. Vanity sending his commander to take care of that, so that mass extractor is not going to fall. Very nice positioning by the commander, shielding it from the fire a little bit there and healing it as well. Meanwhile, the Weeda bots are going to bomb those loyalists, and that mass extractor is going to be saved. Great play by Vanity, but there's more loyalists coming up here on the left-hand side. There are 2 tanks here only, but Vanity is doing a nice job microing here. It looks like, I'm not sure if he has the range upgrade or not, but those tanks are going to engage here, utilizing the target fire from the loyalists on the mass extractor. Loyalists are going to come in and also target fire the tanks. Meanwhile, the engineer is brought here to start healing that mass extractor here. Great play by both players. Nuclear pulling out his bots. So far losing only 1 loyalist here on the bottom end. Looks like he's going to lose another loyalist on the top. Meanwhile, he already has a research station here in the center. This is what great play of Supreme Commander 2 is, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely incredible. Second land factory coming up from Vanity. I feel like he's not used to playing against such high pace, but for the time being, Nuclear is going to pull back here. Vanity is going to try and go around. He's going to see if there are any expansions here, because again, there isn't really a radar here for Vanity. Did he upgrade it on one of his? Yeah, he did do the factory thing. He actually really likes that. Vanity is the one and only player, I feel like, that upgrades radars on his factories. And somehow or sometimes even he places down a radar as well. Like right here, he would place a radar, which I always find very curious. It does give you a vision boost, but I feel like a vision boost is not that important. The chances are you kind of know what units they are if you see them on radar in Supreme Commander 2. So it is a little weird that he does that, but I always kind of chuckle when I see that. Vanity looks like he's going to try and push here, and I don't think I technically agree with this. I think he has the map control technically, even though Nuclear here is taking the center. He has the rest of the map to go and harass with his planes, and maybe even Harvogs, although I don't really like the Harvog option here too much. I think he just turtle and wait until your Aeon machine kicks in with the teleports, because you are beating Nuclear on the mass front. Looks like Vanity is going to try. Oh, there's a point defense here too, so that's going to make a hard stop here for Vanity, especially with all these loyalists. We do have a mobile missile launcher coming out here. That's going to start working on the commander of all things. I don't know why he's prioritizing that, but it does prioritize fire on the commander. So, but he's going to switch it to the point defense. Very good. Pulls it back, seeing the loyalists are coming back in. Let's see if he pulls the tanks. Nope, the loyalists aren't going to push in either. The commander is getting healed a little bit here. Not really sure why. I think I would heal the tower. And we do have adapters coming out, ladies and gentlemen, to counter those mobile missile launchers and the planes. I've been saying this for a really long time. I feel like it's a textbook switch when you're playing Aeon and they're going mobile missile launchers and Weeda buffs. That is a no-brainer. I feel like. I don't know. Some people disagree. But to me, I feel like it's a really good unit, even without those two things. A shield, it's not as great as a, what is it called? Oh my goodness. P-shield. Wow. I'm already brain dead, but there's no UEF in this game, so cut me some slack, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, crazy. We have a little bit of downtime, although Vanity is expanding on the top. It's a little bit of a stalemate now, but I think he's going to stop his air production now, which he indeed does. And it looks like he's going to try and go around maybe. I actually quite like that. Maybe even sending a couple of tanks around to see, but Loyalists are damn fast, guys. They can cover ground like no tomorrow. And I still don't know who has the advantage in this game. Looks like there's a research station being queued up by Vanity here in the back. And yeah, it looks like Nuclear is not gonna push too much. I think he's gonna wait for a couple more Cobras. Cobras, by the way, are making their way out as well. So we have the beginning of that Cyber and Dev Ball here. Mobile missile launchers are going to connect with those adapter shields and bring those down pretty quickly. That's the one thing that definitely makes mobile missile launchers very good in this type of matchup where you have a dev ball with shields. Very, very nicely played by both players so far, and I do like what Vanity is doing here, placing down a research station here, trying to get his research end game, rather mid game to end game going here, and I still like his blob much more. I wish he was doing more with it. I do like what he's doing with his air, limiting the expansion possibilities. If I was Nuclear, though, I would send just a couple adapters with an engineer and start expanding. I don't think there's anything preventing you from doing that. Another point defense is making its way down here. You're gonna PD creep an Aeon? I don't know about that. And see, this is what I mean. Vanity is gonna plop down a radar here, overlapping the upgrade on his factory as well. Very interesting play. But yeah, I like how this is looking for Vanity, although he does let go a few adapters, or sorry, Loyalists here. There is a point defense here, a couple of tanks here as well. When did he get a freaking point defense over there? That is marvelous play. And Vanity's caught a little bit here in between two armies. I'm not sure what he's doing, taking PD fire to the face with his commander. Meanwhile, the Loyalists of Nuclear are engaging, but coupled with the Weeda boss, that point defense is going to be able to take care of this force. Those tanks need to be microed a little bit better. Meanwhile, the PD creep is taking over here. And let's see, Vanity needs to pull back and stop losing so many units here. That point defense is not taking that much damage. This is a very interesting push from Nuclear Pizza, something that we have not seen any Cybern really do against an Aeon especially. And this is looking hairy for Vanity here. I don't know if he's played too many games quite like this. He does lose the factory here on the left. That's limiting his production to just 2 land factories for the time being. But that third land factory is also going to come up and going to start producing units. That radar does fall. Another point defense coming up from Nuclear Pizza. And a counter by Vanity as well. I think that's what you got to do, Vanity. You absolutely have to engage those point defenses before they come up, or else you're going to start losing your base to stuff that you can't even hit. Yeah, this is looking actually very rough for the Aeon. Very, very rough in game 1 on open palms, and Nuclear Pizza just shows that old builds can still be good, and old what is it called? Philosophies, I guess, of the game can still be good. What a push by Nuclear. Vanity is still not out of the woods, or still not out of the game yet, though he does have shields on his units, although most of his units are very low, and these Bradmen are doing a really good job zoning the units out, and that PD creep is insane. Oh my goodness. Absolutely insane PD creep here from a Nuclear Pizza. The man, the Dutch man, the one and only. You know, I did not see him winning this this game this easily, but so far it looks like there's a lot of fire starting to rain down on the actual base of Vanity. The tanks are dwindling, the Brackman shots are connecting like there's no tomorrow, and the adapter shields are just not going to break here. Even, well, as I say that, a massive volley of mobile missile launcher connects as Vanity is engaging with his tanks here, but that gives a good opportunity for Loyalists to engage here. Vanity falls back to his shields, but that is not enough firepower coupled with all those adapters. There's just not enough here for Vanity as his main base is going to start to fall here. And those point defenses are going to start working on that original factory. Vanity's down to 1 factory. He's still building research stations. I don't know why. Still hoping for teleport, but at this point, Vanity, you can't play for teleport. There's no point in playing for teleport. Still taking fire on his land units. And this is looking really, really good for Nuclear. I still would love to see him expand. You know, Vanity is definitely a top tier player, but against macro players, he will I think lose if he doesn't start expanding here. But yeah, it's quite unfortunate. I don't know what Vanady did necessarily anything wrong. I think maybe engaging these point defenses a little earlier would have definitely helped. But yeah, it's so hard to fight this when you actually let a Cybran or anybody really take a foothold with point defenses, mobile missile launchers, and shields. Like anybody's gonna cause you massive issues. I don't know why we have air. Oh, it's producing engineers. I'm not sure why we're producing engineers. We don't really need them. We need to be building land factories. Vanady's still holding though. Coupled with the point defenses, those mobile missile launchers are actually managing to break through the adapters and are actually doing some work on that point defense. Yeah, it's the Cobras that I think are going to be a problem here going long term, as those shields are going to start falling. Of course, Cobras are not the greatest against shields, but the problem is that as soon as any unit pops out for Vanady, it's getting sniped by this point defense. And now that land factory falls as well, that is going to start being very, very, very rough for Vanady, as he's trying to throw down 2 additional land factories. But I mean, this is hard to stop. Vanady is, of course, going to give it his all. $1,500 are on the line here. Guys, you are not going to disconnect from a game like this when there's that much money on the line. And, you know, I don't think he's quite out of it yet, although this is a incredibly difficult situation to deal with. And I would not rebuild this factory, Vanady. There's no point in doing that because your units are just getting sniped as soon as they pop out. But yeah, oh, there's even a split here from Nuclear. Great play there. Somehow there's 2 tanks over here for Vanady, though. But they're going to get taken care of. Nuclear is very, very well aware of everything that's happening. Finally, that point defense. No, it doesn't even go down. I thought it went down. There's so many point defense wrecks that I can't even keep track, guys. What an insane game. Hello to everybody watching. Darian Style, HVK Legend. Thank you guys for watching. We have 26, almost 30 viewers watching, and I think I saw it go up to like 36 or 35 already. Absolutely incredible defensive teleport from the mobile missile launchers, as the Loyalists are going to come in here and start working on the core mass extractors. Yeah, this is, I think this is a done deal for the Aeon. Vanady was not prepared for this type of aggression from the Cybran. You do not see this type of aggression normally in the SCS. Let's see what adjustments he's going to make for Game 2, because this game is 100% over at this point, as that blob is going to push into the main production line of Vanady that just got built. There is like 5 tanks here in the mix trying to break through all those adapters. Somehow they kind of do. No, they don't. There's no way. Nuclear Pizza is going to continue chasing the commander until there is blood on the Cybran army's hands. Vanady calls GG, and we're going to go to Game 2 with our Dutch player leading 1-0. Sorry for that crazy wait, ladies and gentlemen, but I think this game was worth it. We saw some crazy new things. Amazing game so far, but it's not over yet for Vanady, especially because this is the winner's bracket. But we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 10-year anniversary tournament. We are only beginning to break that creme de la creme, but we have a doozy on our hands as we teleport ourselves to Coalition Shipyard, a map that we haven't seen, I feel like, in forever. Our Aeon commander is finding himself in a very tricky situation, but this is a map that he loves. This is the map that he knows. This is the map where he broke a lot of the meta. It is our teal Aeon commander, AA Vanady, opening up with a double air factory opening. Gonna be quickly rushing those planes, and his opponent on the other side of the map up 1-0, bringing some spiciness from the old days. It is Nuclear Pizza opening up with a double land factory and a research station. All right, interesting things. And, you know, I think, you know, we've seen a lot of standard play in the SCS. You know, there's a couple of players that play very, I don't want to say similarly, but obviously we have a lot of AA people playing, and they have kind of created this meta that hasn't been really perturbed by anybody except for maybe Iron and JWix. And the old MMs, Nuclear Pizza and Polar Bear, they just bring that old perspective. They bring their old builds to the game. And I think that this is one of them. I actually really like a research station opening. Vanady did a research station opening in the summer season final on Open Palms, but if any map and any situation is good for a research opening, I think it's here, because Coalition, look at how it's arranged. One anti-air tower here and here, which is very doable for a Cybern player early on, and still having a great production. Very, very doable. What is this? Interesting. It covers the whole, all of your base, your expansion. It cuts off your opponent's air from really doing much here, and yeah, it allows you to really do anything. I do like this central position. It's kind of creative to put it on the water here, though kind of unnecessary. I would actually prefer 2 anti-air stations here and there. Oh wow, he reclaims it. All right, so maybe a little bit of a mistake from Nuclear Pizza here. Does do a nice job splitting his loyalists. That's good. But I don't... What the heck was that? He like reclaimed and maybe it bugged out? Very interesting. Very interesting things going on. I think this is a much better opening for Vanady, especially because we don't see any loyalists coming out. That engineer is going to get bombed. Vanady gets the engineer. Of course, not a super huge deal here on Coalition Shipyard. And it's even better for Nuclear now because he gets 2 Weeda buffs from that. Gonna build a radar here. Very nicely done. And yeah, so far we don't really see a transition. I think we're gonna see adapters here pretty soon, though. Nope, that's still more loyalists. I'm really surprised. We do have that anti-air tower, but it's kind of positioned in a really weird way. Vanady, I think, is going to find this engineer here. There is no anti-air upgrade on those factories, but it looks like Vanady is not going to go for it. I think, yeah, it's a little risky. It's right on the edge of that anti-air range. And, yeah, you're already down to 3 planes there, so you can't really be doing that. Vanady doing a good job expanding here and plopping down that transition into land, and actually he stops the air production. So if Nuclear, and he does go adapters, that's actually going to be kind of good for our Aeon. And so far we don't see that crazy push from the Cybern, although I will have to say that this is looking like a very similar build to what we saw in Open Palms, of course, minus taking that central position on the hill. I think this is a very similar game. We might actually start seeing Nuclear push out again with those point defenses. And if that happens, Vanady, I feel like, is going to be in a worse position here because he just doesn't have enough land production again. When we have 2 air factories here, which haven't really been producing. And at this point, I have to ask Vanady, why did he open up with a double air factory if he was thinking of transitioning out of it so hard? Although he does resume production on one of the air factories, they're going to be producing more Weeda bots probably. Although maybe it's engineers, but that would be really surprising. We do see Cobras coming out again for Nuclear Pizza as he's starting to push, and I think this might be the same build, guys. I think this might be the same thing. We need a point defense here for Vanady, but he can't engage this because, again, he's so low on units. You can't do anything. There's a point defense that's coming out, but there's adapters and there's Cobras here. This is not good. Yeah, this build is pretty good against this type of opening, and you just can't, I feel like you just can't play this type of game. Weeda buffs come in, and yeah, same build. Same exact build from Nuclear Pizza. He switched it up just a little, you know, plopping down this research station earlier, switching out of the units. It's very, very interesting. Vanady is still not out yet. He does manage to get that first point defense. Is he going to get the second point defense here? Man, they get rebuilt as soon as they die. This is insanity. Yeah, guys, I mean, there's not much to say. Vanity's trying his best to get to those point defenses, and it's just not happening. I hope he makes adjustments going further into the tournament to see, you know, to if he does play nuclear again. But yeah, this is definitely a build to watch out, and I think this build, I don't know if it's great from nuclear, but I think it's certainly counterable by the Aeon, and you just got to figure out how to do it. And I think it's definitely not double air. It's definitely not double air. And it's definitely not pushing with your land factories like that. I mean, I don't know if Vanady scouted the main base of nuclear, but to me it was like he's doing the same exact thing, only building it in a little different way. But yeah, this is definitely not something that the AA players play against. You know, Iron and Hope don't really do this. This is a cheeky build that was, I want to say, popular in the past. This is how you dealt with air. But after the new patch came out back then, it kind of went away, I want to say. And especially when I came back to the game, it was kind of not used anymore. And yeah, Vanity is going to retreat, but this is even more hopeless than Open Palm's game. And we still, yeah, I mean, Vanity is just going through his steps, and he's not responding to his opponent. Vanity is just going through his steps. He's building this research. He's going using his muscle memory, but what he needs to be doing is responding. And unfortunately, this build is designed to kill exactly these types of builds where you're mixing things. Yeah, Vanity might even go down here before he gets back to his shields. And you know, Foxtremellon is on the other side of the bracket. But if Nuclear Pizza continues playing this way and just brings these smart plays to the game, I actually don't discount a Nuclear Pizza versus Foxtremellon winner final. But we'll see. We're still a very long way off. We have amazing players. By the way, Iron Commander is one of those amazing, great players on the way to that final for Nuclear Pizza. So we can't even say that. But, you know, all these SCS players, they're used to playing the same thing. The mentality of SC2 community is, you know, you do the same thing. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. But there are things. It's just I feel like people don't experiment like they used to before. And I've been saying for a long, long time, guys, don't think of maps as good and bad. Don't think factions as good and bad. Think about the builds. Think about your strategy. Think about what you're doing ahead of the game. And look at this insanity. So many land factories popping down. And yeah, I mean, this is very sad for Vanity. There's not much I can say here, because this is just a matter of when Vanity dies. You know, even without these research stations, this would be very difficult. A point defense is being built to counter mobile missile launchers, and when that happens, you know it's beyond rough for a player when you're building point defenses to counter mobile missile launchers. And yeah, even if those weren't mobile missile launchers, I think that left-hand side is forfeit. Now, there is one play that I think Vanity could try here, because he has research, but I think he's kind of far off from it, and it's overcharge. But we are so far off from that, I feel like, especially because we have unit shields here. Not the greatest of micros from Vanity as well. And, you know, Vanity is a great player. I'm sure he will go far and will be in the money in the loser's bracket. But, yeah, I also don't think... I mean, it's hard to say if Vanity showed up today, because I feel like he's just been thrown off by a build that was designed to counter this type of Aeon play. Or rather, I won't even say this type of Aeon play. I will say an air opening, because ultimately what it boiled down is a push with some anti-air. Adapters are great. Building point defenses, of course. And, you know, your air is not going to do a lot against that. So I wonder what Nuclear would have done, though, if it was a 3-factory opening, though. I think this research station does allow him to transition into, like, Megaliths and stuff, but I feel like that's the type of game that Aeon wins. Yeah, and I mean, Vanady is just getting rolled over here. All of his expansions are falling here. He doesn't have any research remaining, and I think we're going to see a GG here. Oh no, that poor engineer. That poor engineer. You know, I'm really happy that Cybern is getting a little bit... Oh my goodness, what just got upgraded on these units? Probably jump jets. But yeah, Vanady is going to go down here. I am happy to see an Cybern over an Aeon through. But I am quite sad for Vanady, I'm not going to lie. Despite all my feelings about Aeon and all that stuff, I am sad for him to go down in this manner. I hope he makes an adjustment. I think he definitely is an amazing player, and this doesn't show his skill. Even in that first game, we saw like little things he was doing. That was just absolutely incredible. But yeah, unfortunately for Vanady, he is relegated to the lower bracket, and Nuclear Pizza moves on. Not quite an upset, even though it was an unseeded player versus a seeded player, but Nuclear just hasn't played that many events that Vanady has, or the other players, so obviously he wasn't ranked. So this isn't an upset, guys, but this is a crazy match, and I think going back on it and just learning from it, I think you guys can see a lot of things you can be doing against Aeon. So guys, we're going to take a little break, and we're going to see what's happening in the rest of the tournament, and we'll be back in hopefully very, very soon. If you're still watching, give a thumbs up to this video. If you liked the video, leave a comment. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you are blown away by it, check out my Patreon page. This has been Nite. Take care and peace out.